Logan Rodgers is the Great Midwest Athletic Conference Athlete of the Week for track, and the outdoor season is underway. And just talk about your first event of the outdoor season over at North Carolina State.
So we knew that we were going to have to hit a time to make it to NC State. The time is pretty strong, and there are 3 heats of the 10K, and that's what Ben and I were going for, and Caroline was going for the 5K. And so we knew that we were building from indoors, that our goal was to make it to NC State and to hit some fast times there. And so ever since indoors, once we got back from Christmas break, it was our goal. We got to hit those times in order to make it to NC State. And a lot of us hadn't hit those goal times yet to get into the heats that we wanted to. In fact, Ben didn't know till the week of the race whether or not he was going to be in. So, we were fortunate enough to make it to NC State. We were fortunate enough to race it, and we got some good times out of it, some big PRs.
Kind of run us through the race a little bit too.
So it was perfect, and the weather conditions were incredible. It was around 63 degrees. There was no wind. I just remember warming up, looking at the flagpoles. The flags weren't blowing at all. And so at that point, I knew that it's time to gear in and just zone in and hope for a good race. The weeks leading up to it, the mileage was pretty low. I was around 35 miles for the week, and really going into it, we knew that the indoor at Nationals, that was a pretty rough race. We went out fast, and at that point my legs weren't feeling too well, and so when the goal was to go hit a really fast time at Raleigh, it transitioned to, well, let's go see what you can do. We weren't really sure what times I'd be able to hit, so it was a massive tapering down for those 2 weeks leading into NC State. So when I was entering the race, I wasn't really confident. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. But leading up to the race, I thought that I was going to go out slow, and I was going to start conservative, and hopefully the next 5K pick up some pace and maybe hit the provisional if it was in me. But looking at those conditions, the weather and just the atmosphere, seeing the first section of the 10K and how fast they ran it, it was pretty inspiring and encouraging, and I felt like I might as well I've made it here, and so I might as well go out and see what I can do. And so I just got into the pack, and for the first 5K, we went through a really good pace, pretty even. It was around 15:03, and from there I felt pretty good, so just started making some moves. And in a field that's 38 people deep, you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times. You don't want to get boxed in too much. So there are a lot of moves in the 10K, and so around 5K, I started seeing a gap forming, and so that's when really the tactical part of the race came, and where it's not necessarily maybe your fitness, it's whether or not you want to put yourself in the position to be pulled to that pace. And so it's a big mental barrier that you have to overcome. And so I was just fortunate in that time and that split second of the 5K, once we went through the first 5K split, that I was able to respond, and my legs felt good. And so it was an incredible race. It was wonderful to cross the line and see a 52-second PR. And then the next day to see Ben get a 49-second PR, it was just incredible. And it was a wonderful experience, and we're just so thankful to go to those high-level meets where we do get to run against Division I competition.
Logan Rodgers, the Great Midwest Athletic Conference Track Athlete of the Week.